Okay, so how's your day going, Janan? How's your Sunday treating you?
This is a very, very hot day here.
Oh,
Right
is it?
now, right now I am not in Istanbul. I'm in Ayvalık, which is just 4.5 hours to Istanbul by car. Seaside town, very cute, very nice. But this time, it's maybe the most hot times in this town and also all over the Turkey. And we are at I don't know can we go to beach or not because it's really crazy hot today. Everybody is in their homes with the ACs. In the afternoon, town seems like a ghost town because everybody prefer to stay at home. It's very hot right now.
Yes, and I think it's mostly everywhere. I mean, in Europe, the heat wave is at its peak. In United States as well, we have seen the news that it's getting hot and humid. And India,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
this
I
is a
heard
season
about
of
it.
summer, so it's
Yes,
it's high in humidity. The temperature is quite high, so just like you said, we prefer to stay inside during afternoon, so it's like a ghost town, just like you said.
I'm sorry, I was trying to make the voice a bit louder. I think I make it. Yes, it's better.
So
Thank you.
is it
Yes,
better now?
it's better. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Now
so
I can
just
hear
like
you clearly.
yeah, so just like at your place, Jinan, even in India, the place where I'm living, which is New Delhi, it's hot and humid. So even we don't think about going in the afternoon, doing some work. It's like a ghost town, just like you said. So yeah, afternoons are like here as well. Yeah.
So
So
you
let's see
you
in coming weeks or months.
you have AC
Yeah,
at
I was just
home?
saying, in coming months. Yes, yes, we do. I mean, we can't live. We can't live without
Yes,
ACs. Yeah,
the same
it's a
here. It's
necessity.
hard without. Yes. But sometimes I see some people they don't use AC, especially the old people, the local people here who lives, since for many years. They are like they have some, local cafes, and especially only mangoes there during the day. And when you see them, they are all old and they are sitting in their chairs without moving, without doing any action. They are like, half dead or something. It's because of the heat, I guess. Because no AC, nothing, but just sit there, the streets. That's all. Only their eyes move. That's all.
Yeah, maybe they have strong willpower. They are internally strong. Maybe.
I
I
think
mean,
they
they don't
used
need
to.
AC. They're just
Yes.
okay with the natural winds and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they used to it. And here, olive oil is very famous. Sometimes, they sell it to the other countries, and it's also famous. And olives are here very good quality. And the old people, local people, usually, not usually, sorry, always use olive oil in their, cooking. So they say it makes a person, yes, it makes a person life longer. So here there's a lot of old people and they are all very healthy, and heart attack or heart health problems here, it's very less. I mean, they can easily live until
Interesting.
100 or something. Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the such properties of olive oil, But yeah,
Mm.
good to know. Even we use it sometimes when we are making something
Ah,
occasionally. But
so
yeah, good to know. It has good advantages as well.
I mean, I don't know is it true or not, but I mean, 2 days ago, I was in a local shop and I was buying a local food, which is very famous here. It's made with some aubergine, and it's like a pastry. And I said, please, can you give me the ones from the less oily ones? And he said me, why? This is so healthy. This oil is very famous. We are sending our olive oil to Italy, and they also love that olive oil. And every year we join some competitions um, in the Europe or in the world, and we so often win that competition. Sometimes we are number one, and the other year Italy is number one. I don't know he was saying true, but he said something like that, and I said, okay. Okay, maybe he's not honest. Maybe he was just trying to sell the food. I don't know, but uh,
It could be. It could be.
yes,
His
then yes,
salesmanship would be there, just to
yeah,
make sure that that you think it's a popular one. But it could be true as well. It could
yes,
be
but
true as
it's
well.
very good quality. I don't know if it's number one or something. I really don't know, but olive oil is very good, and the air
Yeah.
quality is
So
also very good here.
nice. So, I was only aware that Italy is one of the main producer of olive oil, and maybe I think France as well, if I'm not wrong. But I wasn't aware at all that Turkey is also a major producer of olive oil.
Ah,
So interesting. I mean, I wasn't aware of it. Yeah,
I
that's good.
understand.
That's good.
Yes. Yes, it's good to know. You know, it's healthy. I also use sometimes olive oil from Italy. It's very delicious, of course. And I mean, here food culture is a bit similar with Mediterranean countries. It's I think because of heat, it affects the culture also. Olive oil, some vegetables. They use vegetables so often. I think that's why they are healthy and they live long.
That's good. That's good. Interesting things to know. See, Sunday is telling us such new things which we didn't talk yesterday, right?
Yes, yes, you are right. It's now going to completely different way, I guess. So okay, I will stay in the subject.
No worries. So yeah, I think Janan, we can get started with your introduction. I know we talked
Okay,
about it yesterday, but I
yeah,
think you can let us know what you do, where you're from, and yeah, I think we can take it from there. Yeah.
okay, okay. So should I wait for you to ask before, or I should just begin?
Yeah. So I just asked, so I think we are good. Yeah, you can start with your introduction.
Sorry. Okay, I start. Um, I live in Istanbul, in Turkey. Istanbul is the biggest city. It's not maybe the capital city, but it's the biggest with its economy, with its touristic sites, and it's really beautiful city. And I'm happy to live here. But I also love to travel so often. So Istanbul gives me a nice opportunity to go all over the world from its airport, and I love to see the people in the planes. I really love to make some uh, search, looking for people style, whatever. And I'm teaching mathematics. I'm in this business, this education business, since for more than 20 years. I love to teach, and nowadays, since for 7 years, I own a private school in Istanbul, and we have kindergarten, primary part, and secondary part in our school. And I also work with a team with teachers. I'm trying to not to be bossy. We are trying to be a big team, because when you uh, catch that feeling that we are a team, it really works well. And we are trying, if we if we make good money from this private school business, we always try to share some of our income with teachers. So really, it gives a very nice spirit in school. It gives also an opportunity to teachers to be able to make their dream projects in school. I mean, it's not too easy. It's limited because our sources is not much education. I should say it's not a big business to make big monies, but it's really nice job with to make good connections with good souls. I sometimes prefer
Yeah,
to say good
yeah,
souls about children because really they are unique, and they all have different characters, different families, different stories. So in years you start to become like a psychologist or something, because you started to know many stories and many reactions, many solutions, many choices. So it gives a lot of experiences, even if you don't live every one of them. So really, I find myself very lucky about that because it teaches a lot of things about life. And education is, on the other side, very nice choice for me, maybe for the ones who loves travel much, because it gives so much time to travel. In Istanbul, in Turkey, we have nearly 3 months as a holiday, so I can use that time for traveling. And during the year, there is some small holiday times also, 1 week or 2 week, like semester time. I also try to use that holiday times. So it gives a lot of free time to me. Maybe not too much money, but for me, time is really more important and more valuable than money, I guess. So I try to balance it. Sometimes, I mean, in the first times of my teaching experiences, I also try to make more money by giving private lessons because it's a good network. If you can make a good work about giving private lessons, you can make really good money here in Istanbul because parents really care about the high school examinations and university examinations. And mathematics is the basic lesson for both of them. So I tried to make in the beginning more money, but it was like I was always working and working, and there was no time even at home to watch a movie. So at the end, I said myself, "What are you doing? What will you do with this money? You can't even spend it. It's just staying in the bank." uh, yeah, maybe at first you feel yourself in total safe, like, I have that much money, I'm so comfortable. But then you realize that you are playing the game in wrong way. You need to balance it. Of course we need money, of course, but we need time also. So I learned to balance the money I earn and the time I need. And after, I start to be more happy, more healthy. And I always say, because traveling is like a therapy. I mean, if you don't want to spend too much money to therapists, you can travel so often. I'm so sure it will cut you to go to therapists and doctors, and spend so much money to medicines, not only in mental uh, or psychology. If you don't care about your soul, really, after a while, you start to be start to feel more pain in your body, in physical, which I lived also that experience, and it really taught me a lot about balancing our lives in mental, physiological ways. So now I'm happy where I am in mentally, in psychology. Of course, we are learning always. There's no end about learning in life, but nowadays I'm more happy than my past.
Hmm, interesting. And yeah, I think very well said, Janan. As you were saying previously, you were more into work, less into taking care of your well-being, right? So when you are more into work, you might be earning good. You might be, getting some success in your work life. But
Yeah,
if that's taking toll on your health, you're getting stressed out. You are not
yeah,
able to take care of your health. You don't have time for your personal life, right? So in
yes,
that case, I think it takes a good amount of toll on your body, on your health, and irrespective of what's happening in your career, you don't feel happy, right? You
yes.
don't feel satisfied. So there was a saying I was reading in a book, or maybe it was some other podcast. So that guy was saying, if you work, whatever work you do, whether you are a teacher, whether you work in some IT company, or you own a business or anything like that, every day if you wake up in the morning and if you're not happy, then it's a concern,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
know
every
that.
day if you wake up you are happy, then it means you are doing well. It doesn't matter how much you're earning. It doesn't matter what's your role or what's your designation or what people think of you in society. What matters is you wake up like 6 7 in the morning and your mind is happy. You wake up with a happy thought. You wake up
Yes,
with something, being energetic, within yourself, and then you start your day. And if your job or if your business is not making you that, then it's a concern. And then you have to take a hard step whether you want to continue with that or do you want to move in a different direction to
yes,
go for a happy life. And I think that's what I can see from your example, right? So now you are owning your own school or your own business. It's a
yes,
small team, doesn't matter, but you are happy. I think you are helping students, which is, people say they are the future of our society. So you are
yes,
helping their mind to grow. You're having different techniques and perspective to teach them, to have them
yes.
learn something new. And I think, yeah, that's really interesting, which I can see from our conversation. Yeah.
Yes, yes, so true. And to my students, I always say them, you can't teach them for 40 minutes. Our lessons takes 40 minutes, every lesson. You can't teach them during 40 minutes just mathematics because it would be boring, very boring. Sometimes we are, of course, talking about life and our experiences, which also I learned a lot from my students in that conversations. And I always say them, if you are not happy where you are, move where you are. You should move. You should start again. And don't hesitate just a second to start again and again, even if you fail. Just start again. Just give
Yeah.
it a try. Even if you
Failure is,
fail,
I guess, part of your life. We
yes,
should fail always, to learn something new. If you are always
yes,
getting success, then it's a big risk, because it's later on, if you get failed
so
in some stage of your life, it's going to
yes.
impact you hard. So failing is as important as getting successful, I guess, in life.
Yes, yes. I mean, we people, I think, should try to learn how to balance our feelings and our reality. It's very important. I mean, when I was raising, when I was children, or when I was in high school, in university, our society was believing in success, the careers, the jobs, very much. And I was, of course, affected uh, by this society mind. very much. And I was also believing like we should work, we should do our jobs perfect, making money, or making your job in the perfect way. It's the most important. And I was always hiding my feelings, my, sad mood, or my anxiety mood. I mean, I was always trying to be like I have no negative sides. I was always fighting with myself, and not it was just me. All of our friends were like this. And after a while, I think it's a good thing that everybody realized that it's not true. World also realized that IQ is of course very important, but EQ is maybe more important than IQ. So and so in pandemic times also we realized that life can finish like just a second. Everything can change just with a virus or just with an accident. Suddenly everything can change. So maybe is it true or not, but it's just my thought. After pandemia, I see people travel more than ever, I guess, because in the airports, in the cities, it's crazy crowded, more than ever. And I look to some websites in Google. I mean, I would just try to make a search by myself, and you can see how numbers goes up for cities. Really, visitors are going more and more, and it's not just about the population. It's not about population is going up. It's not just about it. I guess it's about a bit pandemia, because people realize that okay, this city is in my bucket list, and what if I can see it, if I have time right now, and if I have enough money to balance it. Okay, just don't wait, go and see. I think this idea becomes more usual, or the people I talk, the people around me thinks in that way. But as I think it's also good effect, one of the good effects of pandemia. Of course, I can't say that pandemia is good for world. It would be nonsense, of course. But I try to see also some positive sides of pandemia, because if I see it only as a terrible effect, it would affect me inside my soul very bad. So I try to find some good sides of it. I mean, analyze it.
I agree. And I think post the pandemic, what people have realized is there is no point waiting for a good time to come for traveling, right?
Yes,
No need to wait for maybe some retirement, or maybe after 5 years or 7 years, I will go to that place. Now people have realized, it's in the moment. So if there is
yes,
something in your mind that you want to visit that place, let's not keep it waiting. Of course, everyone needs to plan their budget, their time, and
oh,
everything. But people have taken that as priority, and now they're thinking, let's go to that place. And I think in my circle as well, I have seen, post the pandemic, people are traveling like, it's being termed as revenge tourism. So people are full of revenge. They want to travel, explore everything. And I
yes,
think, as you said,
true.
traveling and exploring different countries, different cities is sort of a therapy. You are gaining some experience, and it's kind of giving some positive impact on your mind,
Yeah,
on your body. You are taking good memories, right? You're taking something new and unique from that place, and you're taking it back home, and it's cherished forever. Even, I mean, I visited Scotland like 2019, so it's like almost 4 years. But if I think about that place, I will go back to that place immediately in my mind. Everything is so
that's
fresh,
the nice
everything
part.
is so refreshing. It was like I was there last week. So I think such experiences does help you, and I think once you start thinking of your past trips, your the cities you have visited, I think it gives you some or it releases some positive chemical in your brain, and you start feeling happy, right? So I think,
Definitely.
yeah,
That's why
as you
it's
said,
like
it's a good
therapy.
therapy to go for.
Yes, yes, it's as I say, that's why like a therapy, and I hear that therapy word so often from travelers. They all use that word because it's really true. And even some psychologists sometimes suggest their patients to go travel to see some different places. And for the mind, for our mind, it's also very important to increase our mind capacity, because in teaching we always say don't go to your school or job or home every day in the same from the same way. Sometimes change it, because if you always do the same things during the day, mind started to be more lazy. So we need to yes, we need to
It
surprise our
starts
brain.
getting rusty. It
Yes,
starts getting
yes,
rusty. So
yes,
it will
yes,
get if you don't use it, yeah,
yes.
in a different way. Yeah,
Yes, so traveling is also very useful for our brain capacity. I believe the people who travel more and more, they also their mind also changing in time. Their um, their attraction, or they are more careful. I realized in myself, for example, I realized that my reflexes are getting a bit fast. I think it's because of, if you go to a city which you are in that city for first time, it's like starting a war a bit also, because at first there's a bit small anxiety, like is it safe to go there, or is safe to eat this food from street food, so you try to be more careful than usual. So I guess it really affects it plays somewhere in your brain which makes you more careful, as I realized in myself. So I believe if scientists can find a time about this, they can discover many things about brain capacity while people traveling. So to my students, I also say, and we are trying to make some small trips to well-known touristic cities for 10 days, not too long times. And we say them, let's learn together a city, because it really affects our brains in good way. And it's, I believe, a part of education also, and it's also fun. They enjoy it. So when my students ask me, teacher, where we will use these mathematic signs or problems in real life, and I really love to explain them where can they use it in the traveling or something, or in real life. They love it, and they started to be more enjoyable to mathematics. But of course, it's not uh, a big fun like going to fun fair. I accept this, but you can make it a bit more enjoyable, I believe.
I agree. I agree. And yeah, I think that's a good understanding, Janan. And I guess when we were studying in our school, in our preschool and everything, we didn't have such mindsets from teacher. We were like, just learn this, read it, give your exam, pass or fail, then you proceed. But I think teachers like you, I think in this era as well, I think teachers are getting more practical in terms of
Yeah.
letting kids know how you can implement this knowledge practically as well in their real life. And I think that's what makes more sense for them. And I think they can learn more with their heart than just with the mind, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, yes, so true. I'm happy with these small, maybe I can say, revolution, because in our times
Small
it was
tweaks.
even
Yeah.
yes, because in my times, in my childhood, it was very hard to say even hello to my teacher, because it was like, oh, our teacher is coming. Don't look, don't say anything, just stand up. It was very strictful in that day.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
I agree.
So it's a good progress, I guess.
I agree. I agree. Perfect. So, Janan, our very first question.
Okay,
What's your favorite city? And it can be from your travel or city you might have lived or currently living in, and why. So, what's a favorite city that has taken your heart? Yeah.
okay. My favorite city, I can't hesitate even just a second. It's Paris, and everybody knows me. That I am a little bit addicted to Paris, because I think it comes from my passion to French culture, and this passion comes from because of French movies. I like cinema very much. I always try to see um, different types of movies. I try to follow some really not very known, not well known directors' movies. Of course, I have not maybe too much time, but when I have time, I always try to see something different. Of course, there's many good Hollywood movies, and they have really very nice opportunities while they are making movies, effects, or their big opportunities. But uh, I always try to catch the story, and when a story was different or it's very empathetic, and it really affects me. So in French movies I find more reality. It was not always like a dream story. It was not with always happy endings, or it was not always with certain endings, like in life there is not only white and blacks, there is something between. Also there's many colors. That's why I like French movies. And so, of course, in French movies, you can see so often Paris in the seasons. So it started from that movie experiences. So one day, when I was having enough money, after I started to working, because before I was a teacher. In my family, our sources was very limited, because my father only working in our family, and he was also teacher. After a while he became an inspector, but still we were having not too much money. So I waited until I have a job. So the first year I started as a teacher, I decided to start traveling. And when I go Paris in first time, it was very hot. It was on July, and my son was at that time 4.5 years old, and it was very tiring. We were in the metro so often, because we were staying very far from Paris center. So I mean, it was 40 minutes by metro to the Paris center, so it was very tiring. Maybe because of that two reason, I was like, oh man, Paris is not too beautiful as I dreamed before. And I was realized that maybe I'm in Paris syndrome. There is a syndrome called Paris syndrome, which is in the
Oh,
literature. And
yeah. Yeah.
people say if you expect too much, before coming to Paris, you will get disappointed. So make ready your soul yourself for not expect too much from the city. Maybe I was expecting too much because of that movie's effect, or I believe it's mostly because of it was very tiring. At that time, I felt like that, but of course, still Paris was my favorite, and I decided I will go there after my son gets older, and I said myself I need to go there at least once by myself because with a child it's not easy. I mean, not only Paris, for every city. Not easy. Of course, it's possible. I mean, I went so many cities with my son, and it was also enjoyable. But every mother knows, and every mother can understand me. I guess it's not easy. You are fighting to enjoy the city because during the trip. Yes. And one thing more, my son was having a fever at that time, so it was 38-degree and sometimes more, so it was really hard for me. And then for the second time, when I was in Paris, it was like really a big dream. It was so perfect for me. It was one of the times that is very beautiful in my life, I can say, because I stared at the buildings, to Seine River, to a building with a historical site. Sometimes, I mean, 4 minutes. Sometimes I sit in a cafe by hours. I look people and their style, or go to a patisserie and look at the, desserts as much as I want, because I really love to look and analyze the things around, especially the areas, the city which is local. I try to always avoid from the touristic areas, because the worst restaurants and the worst cafes, I believe, in the touristic areas, because they are so crowded, so they get tired after a while, and they started to be like fabrics, like, do you want this? Okay, take it, see, take some pictures and go. Okay, next. It's like that in touristic restaurants. Yes. So I always try to find some places which is slower, which is with less people. And Paris gives that to you every time you want. I mean, if you want to be a full tourist, you can take it. If you want to feel like a Parisian, you can feel it. And I mean, you can find everything in Paris. Maybe some will say to me, you can do it in every city. Of course, it's always begins with our minds, but I mean, the weather, if you go in the true time, which I believe it's May, because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, so it's really, and flowers everywhere with very nice colors. Parks are perfect with that flowers, green tones are very nice. So in Paris, I believe you can find a metropole, you can find a cute town soul also. It gives you whatever you want, or luxury, fashion. You can find that too. And I was very happy in the second time, so I didn't stop. I went there so often, especially this in 2022. I was there so often, and hopefully I will next year too, because the food also really surprised me, because for the first time I was not having enough time, but for the second time I try many restaurants which is not famous. I mean, when you go to Instagram, you find many things like to-do list, to should do, must do, or must go restaurants. I always skip that list because I want to make my own list. Even if I fail, sometimes, of course, there's a fail, but I never give up, because when I find something different, and when I just know about by myself, it makes me very happy. It gives me confidence, and I love to share it with my and Instagram gives that opportunity to me so often, um, because it's so surprising that the virtual friends that you have by Instagram, or maybe by another applications, but I so often use Instagram. Some people can be very careful about the things you share. I mean, if they really love to travel, they are really focused on different locations or different tips. So it gives me a good motivation to discover a city, to discover a city's different sides. And I also love to, because follow different types, different sides of a city from my followers. I am also careful about it. So I think we affect each other mutual in good way by Instagram. I mean, many people believe social media is not too good for social life. It makes people more alone. But I believe opposite. I don't believe it too much. It makes our lives better than before internet and before Instagram, I believe. Why? Because if you really go with a good strategy, you can have many good friends, many good virtual connections. You can share and you can learn more than ever. So that's why I find it really good way to learn about travel. But of course, you need to learn how to use it in safe. I mean, if you click every link that people send you, or if you follow every people that follows you, I mean, of course, it's not safe. But you need to be a bit, of course, careful. So if you learn to use it in right way, it's so useful, I believe. And so by Instagram, Paris also gives me mm, the desire to take more nice photographs, because I love to take photographs in Paris. It always gives you really nice captures. If you are a city photographer, you can find many different styles in Paris, and they are so often unique. Uh, because sometimes in some cities, people are looking like each other, so similar, so same styles, or sometimes always same brands with their clothes. But in Paris, it's unique, it's different. Women style is really elegant, and uh, which is not too expensive. Of course, there's expensive styles, of course, but you can have it also in a not too expensive ways. You can have it. I love to see that style in streets. And if you love architecture, there's many nice buildings. And if you love, just nature, you can have it in the parks around Seine River. It's really and the light in Paris
So
in the
yeah,
sunset time. It's very beautiful. The shadows. the colors of the sun in the sky. It gives very beautiful image in the photograph.
Yeah. And yeah, I think my next question would be, Janine, as you mentioned, Paris has so much to offer. So, what are the top locations anyone can cover being in Paris? Yeah.
Of course, in Paris, I will start with the top location, which everybody knows, Eiffel. When I was first visiting Paris, I was thinking, okay, I will go to Eiffel and take a photo in front of it, and then skip it, and we'll go another locations in Paris. So we went to Eiffel with my sister, and when I see the Eiffel first, it was a big shock to me because I was like, oh my God, it's so impressive. I really never expect to be impressed too much by Eiffel Tower because I was thinking, it's just a tower. It's made by iron and its color is changed in years. So what can it be? But it's so really gorgeous. And I stared really like I was in love. I can say that it was a good feeling, and we took many photographs from every side. I think people should see Eiffel from different sides because when you yes, when you look at the Eiffel from Seine River, by the Seine River, it looks different. If you look to Eiffel from parks, from green side, it's different. And if you look to Eiffel from a street, because some streets see Eiffel from longer, and it looks really nice with street and shops, and further Eiffel with Eiffel Tower. It gives really nice pictures. So everybody should see Eiffel, I believe. And going top of the Eiffel, it's not easy. I'm sorry, but it's so hard because it's too crowded. When I was there first, it was not open. But the other times, every time when I go there, I was like, oh, I can't wait this line. Maybe online tickets are available, but I was always lazy about, online tickets things because I think I am more into my emotions. I always like, let's don't make too much plan in my vacation. I just want to follow my instincts and my emotions. I love to be in that style. So if you are a person which is very into making plans, maybe it's not good. Maybe it's better to organize it before. And it was very expensive also. In Turkey, we don't earn by euro or by dollars, so it's not easy for us to pay for it. So that's why I always give up. I was like, okay, let's go to Lafayette. It's free. And it's really nice view from the top. You can see the Paris houses roofs, which is really nice view. And it looks really impressive in the photos. And so if some want to see Paris from top, of course, it's not like, I believe, like Eiffel, of course, but it's another option to stay away from that long lines and crowdness, or that expensive vibe. So I give up to go top. But my friends who went top of Eiffel, they say it's unique, it's beautiful, it's worth it, they say. So the other point, I believe, Louvre Museum and the Louvre Pyramid, of course. It's beautiful. The color, it's so like feels you. I'm inside a movie. It gives that effect. So see that Louvre Pyramid. I mean, it was the most thing I love about Louvre, I guess. Of course, many people will say about Mona Lisa, I believe. But it's because of, we see it from everywhere in the social media, in the news, newspapers, everywhere. That may be why I was like um, more into Louvre Pyramid, I guess. I don't know. And Notre Dame, of course, the other point. And it's beautiful. It's really again crowded around, but you can't even see that crowdness because you are looking at Notre Dame at that time. And if you can take a tour by Seine River, you can see many top points of Paris just by sitting on the boat and see them uh, further. It's nice also. I can really advise both tour. And Notre Dame is very important for French people. It's a national symbol for them. And so I think it deserves to be seen as a top points in France. And Alexander Bridge, it's also the other top points. It's good to see the city from the bridge, and of course, pictures, photographs looks very nice. And but I always should advise to walk away on the bridge. It feels really good to listen to the city, to look at the river. It's romantic also, very romantic. Even if you are alone, you can feel that romance. So, yes. So, yes, so it's good to walk by. And Orsay Museum, and there's a classic picture with that clock appearance. So people, I'm sure they are used to see it, but it's so impressive also. uh, Luxembourg Garden looks very nice also. And Domaine National du Palais Royal, it's there is some maybe I can say a big columns, and which colored by black and white. It's so beautiful appearance, and you can go top of them. You can take many funny pictures or stylish pictures. It's really nice to be in that area too. And Pantheon maybe can be, because these uh, points are can be seen by maybe walking. If you are not tiring by walking too much, you can succeed this, I guess. And Montmartre, it's known as a place which artists are living there. Nowadays it's so touristic, of course, but it's also very cute. There's many cute cafes. Streets are very cute. You can see in every corner a painter, which is they are painting some nice pictures. It's a good touristic area too. And of course, there is another point which is not too well known, and I strongly advise that in Paris we should see that places. Really, these top points, of course, we need to, but if we have time, it will give a really different taste of a city.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
We can talk about what food would you recommend in Paris, whether it's in breakfast or lunch or dinner. So, what are your recommendations?
Okay. For breakfast in Paris, everybody should try, of course, croissant. It's really different, and you can't find that taste in any other city. And baguette. And I should advise baguette with French butter. And as a breakfast, yes, butter. The nice activity, as I think, go to a patisserie, buy a croissant, buy a baguette, and then go to a beautiful park and sit on the grass and eat with that baguette with the French butter. And after a croissant, maybe with a coffee, with a tea, it's perfect choice. And as a dessert, you can have a coffee eclair, which is very delicious, not too sugary. It's very balanced. And in France, in Paris, also you should try oysters. It's very delicious. And you should take a video while you are eating that oysters. It's so fun. It's so enjoyable. And again, everybody should try a dessert in the menu in a French cafe. And I think it's better to choose a local cafe, which French people goes often. It always gives better options. And for the main course, nearly all meat main courses were very delicious. And I think I was always eating well cooked meat before, and I tried in Paris middle cooked, and it was very delicious. Uh, I can advise these things first in Paris, and the menu. It's the most enjoyable part. If you go to a local French cafe, the waiter comes with a very big menu, which is like 50 centimeters, and it's made by wood. It's like a board, and they explain
Or sort of
every
both.
yes,
Yeah.
like a board, and they explain every main course, dessert, and everything. What is inside? What is the ingredients? And you can feel like a princess, like a queen, or like a king. So it's a really nice experience to try.
Sort of a special treatment they give you when you visit. I think less popular restaurants or cafes,
Yes, yes,
or over
popular.
there you
Yes,
can get good experience, which is not
yes,
crowded, I guess. Yeah,
yes,
interesting. And
yes.
yeah, I think next was Jenin, what's the best time to visit Paris?
The best time is not summer times. It's very hot, and I guess May, April, May. It's nice times because it's not too hot, not too cold, and beautiful flowers everywhere. Parks are very nice. In July and August, city is very hot, and mostly French people goes to their towns, which they can have beach, sea and sun, or the other countries. So I think after May, it's I mean Paris for tourists maybe, not for French people so often. So I love to see a city with its local people. That's why I can say skip the July and August. That's why I say also May or April, not maybe even May, because the retired people goes at the beginning of the May out of the Paris.
Yeah, and I think it's
So
the starting of summer,
maybe,
so people would be planning to come in early
yes,
summer, as tourist. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
interesting.
maybe
Yeah.
at the end of April, maybe can be also nice time to visit Paris, and maybe if they are lucky, there won't be any rain because sometimes people says it's a very rainy city, but I mean, maybe I was lucky. I was not having too much rainy days in Paris because I was always in good times in Paris, which is, according to me, end of April or beginning of the May.
Mm, great, great. And one last thing, Janen, how people
Yes.
can commute within Paris? They want to cover these popular locations. How one can explore these locations at all?
You can always use metro, but I think in every city we should be careful about metro because for the first time, my sister's husband lost his phone at the metro, and yeah, it was but it was a classic maybe for every big city. But after that times, whenever I go Paris, I never lived any trouble in metro or in any other areas. So and I love to use bicycle in Paris. There is city bike, there is applications, you can have the bike and you can use it and you can leave it after you reach the point that you want to go. Yeah, destination, sorry. And while you are biking, you see the city it's like a small tour. I think I first always choose bicycle, then metro, and at the end, I guess bus, taxi if I can find. But I just use taxi to go to airport or to to go my hotel from the airport. I don't. I didn't feel any need to use taxi. And many touristic areas, as I say, you can see by walk if you choose a good location to stay in Paris. If you choose in a hotel or an Airbnb house in a in Paris center or near Seine River, you can go nearly everywhere by walk. It's easy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. So,
Mhm.
Janan, I think I'm done with my major questions because I think a couple of them you already answered in the initial part of our podcast.
Yeah.
So I think I can
Maybe
catch the
one we can add maybe the points which is not popular. Do we have time to
yeah,
say
in
some
1 minute.
not
So you have 60
popular
seconds.
points? Okay, just
Yeah,
like a list. I would say. Yes, San Martin Canal. It's very nice with murals around. It's very famous between artists in Paris. So I think should see place. And of course, Seine River around going some at night some bars. It's nice because and Rue Claire, it's in a very nice street, and LGBT people love to go to the cafes around that street. And Parc des Bats Chavant, there was a movie called Love, and one of the season was in that park. It was good to discover. And Sid Island and San Louis Islands. These two islands you can go by walk and see the buildings. It's very historical and very nice to see that two little island. And Pont des Arts. It's very nice bridge. There was a locks before.
locks. Yeah, couple would
Yes,
tie the locks there. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But right now, it's forbidden because it's too heavy for the bridge. But walking on that bridge, it's hidden on the ground. So by walk, it's very enjoyable. And both sides there is historical buildings. It's nice to see, and that's all.
interesting. Amazing information, Janan. I think people would definitely learn a lot from you regarding Paris.
Oh,
So, yeah, thank you so much, Janan, for taking time again on Sunday, giving
thank
such a
you.
beautiful thought around this, and amazing talking to you. So, yeah, stay connected. We will talk soon, and yeah, you have a
I
beautiful weekend and enjoy with your family. Okay,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
thank you so
And
much.
uh, I hope you have a beautiful Sunday with your family. And I really want to thank you again for this opportunity this offer. And I hope people can learn something from this conversation. And I
Yes.
want to really give some good spirit.
I agree. Again, thank you so much, Janan. Talk to you
Okay,
soon, right? And have a good one ahead. Thank you so much.
bye bye.
Bye.